Okay, so I was asked to do a tour of my home and show you guys all of who I have. To do so would be it's going to take more than one video. I have birds in here, which is we call the Pidge room, also Hamlet's bedroom. I have the living room where we have doves and silk and kiwi, and Rayla and parrots. And then our bedroom, we just have four pigeons. Um, anyway, so this one I'm going to do today. This is the Pidge room. I did one for this last year. Lots changed. So this is little Shiloh. You can see he's grown up a lot. Remember when he was a little nugget and he was barely standing up and he was a little ball of yellow fuzz. He's getting pretty big. And this is Venti, who not long ago looked a lot like that. Venti's been with us for 6 weeks. He was a little older than this guy was when I got him, but he's growing up pretty well, but I think he's turning out really hand-tamed despite my best efforts, so he's going to go to the Phoenix Sanctuary rather than be released. This is Bob. I don't think I need to explain Bob very much. Yeah, he's very protective of Venti. Well, when Venti was a baby, now he's protective of this guy. Shiloh lives in here for now. Ideally, I want to put him in this cage, so when I'm not able to supervise, he can see all the adults here and mimic them. But I don't have room right now, and this is one of the reasons I'm not able to keep everyone that I get. And I know that makes some people sad. I wish I could. These guys are all flightless. I've rescued all of them in the last probably 3 months from posts on the local rescue page from my city. She's sitting on an egg. Now it's a fake egg. She laid one for one of these three is the one who had half of one of his wings torn off that we stitched up. I told you guys about. She fell in love with him, but they all kind of get along, and that's really lucky because I don't know what I do otherwise. I can't really let them run around because this is a bedroom that has a door, and they're very scared. As you can see, they're all huddled up because they're terrified of me. They're terrified of everything because they were all attacked by predators and had their wings broken. If one of them got out of the bedroom while one of us isn't, like me or my wife isn't looking, they would find a really good hiding spot, and I might not find them before they starve to death. So for now, I have to kind of keep them in there. I have a water dish for them that they can't tip over and can't poop in, because every water dish I tried was like that, and they would poop in it or something. This is Penguin, and over here is his wife Deku. I think you guys know these two. Deku and Penguin have been with us longer than all of them. Since Deku's been with us since 2018. We got her when she was a baby. She had a broken ankle as a baby, and she was stuck in a little corporate complex where she'd fallen out of her nest. And when my wife found her, ants were crawling over her. So brought her home. She grew up. She married our first rescue pigeon, Pidgey, who you guys have never, met while he was alive. We got him in 2018 as well, and then we moved out here, and he died because some idiots set off fireworks illegally outside of our window, and he had a heart attack. And that was in 2019. So she had a broken ankle, and it healed up okay, but it never healed quite straight. Maybe we could have done a better job. We were very new to this. I mean, we put on a nice wrap, but Maybe we should have made it so she couldn't put weight on it. In her, I guess, old age, indoor pigeons can live a long time. You see how she's limping. Her right ankle is the one that was broken, and it's... Both of her feet used to be perfectly fine, but the last 2 years, maybe she's laid a lot of eggs. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, and I think that's one of the reasons why she doesn't do foster babies anymore. I don't think her body is capable of it, and I think the calcium drain... I gave her calcium supplementation, but just her old injury, that's exactly where it was, and it just started... It became that, and it really sucks. But she's a happy girl. She's real healthy. I mean, she's got perfectly white sears. And honestly, not constantly laying eggs is probably better for her long-term life. Penguin we got in 2019. He's our third ever rescue. He was fledgling, looked about that size. And he was just found outside of an office building, just sitting there by himself. Somehow either got pushed out of his nest or, you know, fell out, and the guy found him couldn't find his nest. So there's Venti, Shiloh. There's Gem. Gem is part of the Bob group. There is she. There's her green band. Yeah, I have a green band on her because she looks a lot like Bob. Yes, that is mold damage. We have a leak. There's a breach on the roof that's been leaking down. We are having somebody come out to look at that and fix that in next month. Yeah. There's Carrie. Now Bob, I don't have a huge backstory for Bob. I mean, his story was a lot like a lot of the other rescues. I mean, he was a baby, he was found, he was posted, and I brought him in, and he grew up. And when I went to release him, along with a pidge named Steve, who had been stung by a bark scorpion, Steve was completely stiff. And hi, Bob. Yeah, see, he flew right up to me. Took Steve a month before he could use his whole body again. I was hand feeding him. So I went to release Bob and Steve was awesome. He thought going out and joining a flock was awesome, but sorry for the angle. Bob is really close to my face here. And then I went to release Bob, and he wasn't having it. He flew right back to my shoulder and said, "Nope, I live with you, Dad." So he came back. This is Hamlet. Hamlet we've had before all of our Pidges. We got him in 2014. His family was looking to rehome him. He's 23 now. He was 10 when we got him. His mom got him for her daughter. She was a little girl. She loved him at first, and then she became a teenager and just started neglecting him and ignoring him. And parrots, for any of you who know much about parrots, they're social, they're very sensitive, and when someone who they love starts ignoring them, it hurts them as much as us, and they get really depressed, and sometimes they pluck their feathers out. Hamlet's chest is a little bit bare because he just started doing that, so he's been our boy for a long time. Let's see. So yes, I showed you Carrie. Carrie came from a friend of ours who rescued him when he was a baby. Sorry for the fuzziness. She found him when he was a baby. He was by himself. He had a bad feather cyst that couldn't be removed in practical means, so she paid $500 to have surgery done on him when he grew up, to get the cyst removed. And she loved him a lot. She still loves him. She comes over and sees him. But her living situation changed, and so she asked us first if we could take care of him, because he was completely hand-raised by her. Hey, Gem, don't be rude. Sorry, Jem was just being rude to Shiloh. Um, yeah, he grew up with no other pigeons, so he's very eccentric and would not make it in the wild. Um, yeah, Jem, you're kind of a bitch. So, this is where Deku and Penguin live. Oh, yes, and that's their daughter Pidgeotto, right? Yeah, that's Pidgeotto. She's just coming to say hi. Sometimes Pidges have children and they don't stay close after that, but I guess because of living indoors, they've kind of stayed close. There's no weirdness, there's no flirting between father and daughter. She just comes by to say hi to mom and dad sometimes, and they come by to say hi to her. Penguin's getting a little pissy though. He's like, yeah, well, you've got your big mansion over here, sweetie. Which he doesn't really understand that she's broken up with Carrie. Oh, Penguin. Yeah, see. She has a welcome, but it only lasts for, 2 minutes. um, this is Odin and Luna. I think you all know Luna's story. She came from Shiloh's flock. Not this Shiloh, but the white one that this one is named for. Yeah, she was emaciated. She couldn't eat for some reason. She had some kind of blockage in her throat. It didn't stop her from breathing, but it made eating difficult. So I hand fed her, and the blockage eventually cleared, actually. And then this is Odin. Yeah, are you Odin? Are you Odin? Did you nod to say yes, I'm Odin? I've had him for about 2 years. Same thing happened to him as happened to Silk. He had his head gripped by a hawk's talons, and he had head wounds, and his eyes both were slightly punctured by the talon tips. They drained of their fluids over the course of... It was really slow. It took about 2 weeks. So his eyes he had one eye that was still good when I got him. It looked good, except it was really discolored, so that's why I named him Odin, because I thought he had one eye. But he couldn't see out of it, and then that eye drained, and now he has sunken eye sockets with the skins of his eyes in there. Yes, I'm really sorry if this narration is hard to hear, because I have a little screaming child. Yeah, and you're full. You're full. Yeah, he's been with me 2 years. He was going to go to somebody else in town who takes care of a lot of pigeons, and the person who gave him to me didn't think that they would be able to devote a lot of time to socialize with him and keep him from being lonely, because he has a hard time socializing with other pigeons. So I was his caretaker for a long time, and I still am. I still hand feed him, but I held him and pet him a lot. And 2 years later, Luna decided, hey, you know what, dude? I love you. You're my husband. I'm going to lay some eggs, and I'm going to live with you. He's gotten used to her. He preens her sometimes. It's a little awkward, but she understands he can't see now, and so she'll position herself and let him find her neck. And if he misses and pecks her a little bit by accident, she'll just kind of take it, and, because she knows that being in the same spot makes it easier for him. She's really been good for his emotional health. Silk, I make Silk happy with my attention, but that's because she considers me a mate. Odin doesn't see me that way. So, I kept him from being too lonely, but he really needed a mate, and yeah. So anyway, I hope this wasn't too jumbled. Good job, Venti. Venti just stood on the fan and kind of made it spin. Yep. And here's Bob. He's still hanging out on my arm. Anyway, so this is where everyone lives. Fancy is down here sitting on her fake eggs. Really bad light, but she is there, I promise. I may take her to Phoenix, to be honest. Her and Carrie aren't really acting like a couple anymore. She just seems to want to have eggs. And that was something that was important. Gem! Yeah, this is why I can't let Venti out unsupervised. I know. Okay. Anyway, sorry, this is not as well done as you'd expect from like a big influencer or whatever. I'm not a big influencer. I'm not even an influencer. I'm just a guy who rescues birds and takes videos. But from a wide angle, this is kind of how the room looks. Hamlet is only out when I am up or my wife is up. It's actually his bedtime, so I'm going to cover him up here pretty soon. When my wife and I are gone during the day at all, or if I'm asleep, he goes in his cage and he has his toys.